Hello and welcome. We are live from New Delhi. You're watching DD India, India's voice to the world. This is Sports Buzz. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. Coming up in the next half an hour. Rohit Sharma, Shubman Gill tons put India in commanding position at Dharmshala Test. Hosts lead England by 255 runs in first innings. Kuldeep, Bumrah stand firm at stumps on day 2. In French Open badminton, pvsindhu goes down fighting to Chen Yufei in women's singles quarterfinals. In doubles, Satvik Sairaj Ranki Reddy and Chirag Shetty to face Thai pair in quarters. And Simona Halep to resume WTA career after doping ban at Miamiopen. She last played at the 2022 US Open. Alright, we'll start with the 5th Test match between India and England at Dharmshala. India are at a commanding position after they finished day 2 at 473 for 8 and lead England by 255 runs. Earlier, Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill started the proceedings on day 2 in a dominating fashion with both the batters hitting hundreds. Rohit Sharma scored 103 while Anderson took the wicket of Shubman Gill, who scored 110. Sarfraz Khan and Devdutt Padikkal scored gritty half-centuries before losing their wickets to Shoaib Bashir. In the second session, Ben Stokes castled Rohit Sharma and James Anderson dismissed Shubman Gill in quick succession after both batters slammed brilliant half-centuries. In fact. Kuldeep Yadav and Bumrah looked in fine touch for 8 down India after Shoaib Bashir took 4 wickets and Tom Hartley contributed with 2 scalps for England on day 2 of the 5th Test match in Dharmshala. Kuldeep Yadav is batting on 27 and Jasprit Bumrah on 19. India now extend its lead to 255 runs at the end of day 2. Alright, Josh Hazlewood took a 5-wicket haul to skittle New Zealand for 162 as Australia held the whip hand at the end of day 1 of the 2nd Test in Christchurch. Australia were 124 for 4 at stumps with Marnus Labuschagne 45 not out and night watchman Nathan Lyon on 1 run, having whittled New Zealand's lead to 38. Hazlewood's long-time pace comrade Mitchell Starc took 3 wickets to move past Dennis Lilly's 355 victims and be 4th on Australia's all-time bowling list behind only Shane Warne, Glenn McGrath and teammate Nathan Lyon. New Zealand paceman Matt Henry capped a manic day on which 14 wickets fell by taking 3 for 39 to give the hosts some hope of mitigating the damage wrought earlier. New Zealand captain Tim Southee and Kane Williamson marked their 100th Test, enjoying a warm ovation from the sellout crowd on a glorious morning, but Australia's bowlers soon muted the celebrations. Now, India cruised to victory against South Africa by 8 wickets in Def T20 Cricket World Cup being held in Sharjah. South Africa won the toss and opted to bat. They scored 138 runs for the loss of 8 wickets in stipulated 20 overs. India reached the target in 14 overs and lost 2 wickets. For India, Sai Akash scored the most runs with 50 not out, while Kuldeep, who took 4 wickets for 25 runs, was the man of the match.
बधाई हो जितेंद्र, आज की जीत के बारे में आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे? साउथ अफ्रीका के खिलाफ मिली जीत यह पूरी टीम की जीत है। आज खिलाड़ियों ने मैदान में अपना हर क्षेत्र में 100% दिया, चाहे फिर वह बॉलिंग हो या बैटिंग हो या फील्डिंग हो। हम इसी प्रकार आपस में सामंजस्य बनाए रखते हुए आगे के सभी मैचों में खेलना चाहेंगे।
And two-time Olympic medalist pvsindhu lost to second seed Chen Yufei of China in the women's quarterfinals of French Open Badminton Championship. Sindhu went down fighting against Chen 24-22, 17-21 and 18-21. The Indian shuttler won the first game but could not keep the tempo in the succeeding games. In another quarterfinals, the Indian women's doubles pair of Teresa Jolly and Gayatri Gopichan will face top seeds King Chen and Yi Fanjia of China. Later in the day, they progressed to the last 8 after shocking 7th seed Japanese duo of Yuki Fukushima and Sayaka Hirota 21-18, 21-13. And Indian doubles players Satvik Sairaj Ranki Reddy and Chirag Shetty will face Thai pair of Jomka Supak and Kedren Kitinupong in quarterfinals of the French Open Super 750 badminton tournament on Friday. They cruise into last 8 with a straight game victory against Malaysian pair of Man Wei Chong and Kai Wu Te. Satvik and Chirag defeated the Malaysian duo 21-13, 21-12 in a round of 16 clash on Thursday night. The Indians' domination was such that the match ended in just 32 minutes. Now, Cinema Halep will make her first competitive appearance since winning an appeal over a doping suspension as she accepted a wild card into this month's Miami Open. The 32-year-old Halep, a former Wimbledon and French Open champion, had a 4-year doping ban cut to 9 months by the top court for global sport this week, making her eligible to return to the competition immediately. Halep was suspended in October 2022 during US Open after she tested positive for a banned drug. She was also charged with another doping offence last year due to irregularities in her athlete biological passport, a method designed to monitor different blood parameters over time to reveal potential doping. The Miami Open runs March 17 to 31st. And world number 4 Daniil Medvedev on Friday said he will follow the rules as a neutral athlete after the tennis governing body announced its stance on players from Russia and Belarus. The 28-year-old expressed his excitement about competing at the Paris Olympics this summer. The International Tennis Federation on Wednesday said players from the two countries could take part in the Paris Games as neutrals without flags, emblems or anthems. Russians and Belarusians were banned from competing internationally following Russia's invasion of Ukraine in 2022, for which Belarus has been used as a staging ground. In March last year, however, the IOC issued a set of recommendations for international sports federations to allow competitors from these countries to return. Speaking before his Indian Wells opener on Friday, Russian Medvedev said he was looking forward to playing in the Olympics after a positive experience in Tokyo 3 years ago when he made the quarterfinals of the singles competition.
If I can, I'm going to be there. I'm going to play singles, doubles. Well, of course, if doubles, I get in. When I was in Tokyo, it was an amazing experience. It's one of the probably in a way biggest memories of my sport life, which I was surprised because, in tennis we tend to think about Olympics, that it's like Grand Slam is more important. About the neutral flag, I follow the rules. If it's a neutral flag, I'm going to play on the neutral flag and I'm going to try to compete there, show good tennis and try to win for sure.
And three-time Grand Slam champion Stanislas Wawrinka lost 7-6, 4-6, 6-2 to Thomas Mekek in the Indian Wells first round on Thursday as the Swiss player continues to struggle. The 38-year-old reached a career high of world number 3 a decade ago with an aggressive style of play but was unable to match 23-year-old Czech Mekek's level in the deciding set, and his signature one-handed backhand sailed wide on match point. Wawrinka lost in the first round of this year's Australian Open, the second round of the Argentina Open and the reopened first round before coming to the California desert where he was a finalist in 2017. Mekek will play French 21st seed Adrian Manarino in the second round on Friday. And former US Open champion Emma Raducanu beat Spanish qualifier Rebecca Masarova 6-2, 6-3 to set up a second round clash with Diana Yastremska at the Indian Wells. Raducanu is playing in her 5th tournament since returning to action in January after being sidelined for 8 months due to wrist and ankle surgeries. Raducanu, who reached the 4th round of the Indian Wells last year, will now face 30th seed Ukrainian Yastremska. In other early round play, 2018 champion Naomi Osaka made a winning return to Indian Wells as she eased past Italian Sara Errani 6-3, 6-1 to advance to a second round match with Lyudmila Samsonova. Football now, an early penalty by Alexis McAllister and Darwin Núñez Brace helped Liverpool to thrash Sparta Prague 5-1 in the first leg of the Europa League's last 16 tie. Liverpool, who qualified for the knockout rounds as group winners, dominated the game and were up 3-0 at the break, edging closer to the quarterfinals. Liverpool substitute Conor Bradley scored an own goal just after the break. Dominic Sobers Lasley added a fifth goal in the injury time. In the other early kickoff, AS Roma secured a 4-0 win over Brighton and Hove Albion. The second legs will be played on March 14th. Now, FIFA's anti-doping body did not prosecute any doping cases from its tournaments held in 2023 on Thursday. The tournaments in FIFA's report included the Women's World Cup, the Under-20 World Cup and the Club World Cup, with over 2,600 samples collected from across those competitions. The report said one sample at the tournament co-hosted by Australia and New Zealand resulted in an adverse analytical finding, but that it was justified by a valid therapeutic use exemption. All right, still to come on DD India Sports Buzz. An exclusive conversation with table tennis player Achanta Sharat Kamal. He talks about India's historic team spot at the upcoming Paris Olympics. Sailor Cole Brower has become the first American woman to race solo, non-stop and unassisted around the world.
Why is Donald Trump threatening to leave NATO to fend for itself? Is crypto the future of digital money, and are we ready for it? Is there a whole new world out there deep under the Pacific? Watch Connecting the Dots to get the full picture every Friday at 8 p.m. IST on DD India. In a world that never stops, where information shapes our reality, one app stands out, helps you stay ahead of time. Introducing the DD India app, your gateway to a world of news right at your fingertips. Your most trusted source of news goes global, goes digital. Explore a world of options, top stories, live updates, in-depth analysis, and more. Stay informed wherever you are. Real-time alerts keep you ahead of the curve always. The DD India app, connecting you to the world, one story at a time. Download now and explore the world of knowledge, insights, and authentic information.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Sports Buzz. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. India secured a historic team spot in table tennis at the upcoming Paris Olympics 2024. Achanta Sharat Kamal, who has represented India at 4 Olympic Games, was ecstatic about India's qualification. He is now hopeful that India will clinch a medal at the Olympics as well. DD India spoke to him in an exclusive conversation.
Thank you so much, Sharat Kamal, for joining us and talking exclusively to DD India. First of all, many congratulations to you. This is the first ever Olympic quota that Team India has secured when we talk about the team event. Why did we take so much of time? We made it possible after a lot of time. What were the challenges that you as a team faced all these years?
First of all, thank you very much for having me over. With the team events that was introduced in 2008, back in 2008, we were ranked around almost around 30 something, 32, 33, or maybe 28 around then in 2008. And I was the only player playing at the top 100 in the world. So, of course, to play the team championships, you need a good bench strength. You need a strong team. You need good bench strength. And this has happened over the last 2 Olympic Games. Tokyo, we were 10 in the world with the world ranking, but we lost out on the last qualification match. And this time we were ranked 15 in the world, and we made it finally with our world rankings. And due to our performance at the Olympic Games, at the World Championships held recently in Korea. So, of course, yes, now that we've got that place in the team championships, we are assured of 2 singles places also for Team India. And this is just the beginning, and I'm pretty sure we're going to do well from here on.
A lot has changed when we talk about sports, be it infrastructure or be it the facilities, financial facility, or the development that has happened in various sectors related to sports. What do you think? How has that helped you in achieving this milestone?
I think the setup is more and more professional. The outlook is more professional, and Indian sport is coming of age at this very moment. And I'm pretty sure, we still have a lot of scaling up. We will grow exponentially in the few years to come. But at this very moment, it looks like we are going. We are starting to peak, and we are going to go higher from here.
How important a role the central government is playing in all these milestones which are being achieved by Indian athletes?
Financial funding happens because of the central government, and also the infrastructure that has been built up in the Sai complexes across the country. So not just that, I think our induction, table tennis players were inducted into tops in 2016. And we've had a fantastic run from at that point in time, and the kind of facilities that a top player gets in a scheme like tops makes it very, very easy, comfortable for us to just focus on our sport and leave the burden of financials or any other infrastructure or even like hiring personnel to the central government.
Union Sports Minister Anurag Singh Thakur has announced that all the Khelo India winners will now be eligible for a government job as well. How is it going to boost the morale of the players, especially when we talk about the players who are just rising from the grassroots levels?
This step of recognizing the winners of Khelo India tournaments across the age groups, giving them a chance to have a serious pathway into with a job and having that stability, financial stability, just gives parents more confidence that if the kids play sport, their futures are secure and they are going to do well in following their passion.
And now coming to your Olympics preparations, how are you preparing, and which is the toughest opponent that you see?
I think for all the world, China is the toughest opponent, especially in the sport of table tennis. So we did, especially the girls, did very well at the World Championships. Now they were leading 2-1. They were ahead in a team match on a best of 5. They were ahead 2-1. But apart from that, we as a team are trying to prepare and get our best shape for the team championships in Paris. So for that, the federation has also come up with a solid plan where we'll have good training sessions in Asia, in China, in Korea, and some training sessions in France to get acclimatized to the conditions there.
India has high hopes from the entire table tennis team. But the last message that you would like to give to all the youngsters who are going to vote for the very first time, because youth is the leading power when we talk about India's progress and India's prowess.
Youth of India are the main strength of our country. I think we have a very young population who are quite energetic and quite raring to go ahead and face the world. So I would even for myself, there are times when I miss out voting for the elections due to my tournaments, but I try to stay back and cast my vote because I feel it as a responsibility of the citizen of our country. It's very, very important that we're able to choose our leaders and choose our government so that we are able to head in the right direction into the future.
Thank you so much, Sharath, for joining us and giving us your precious time in between your practice. And we really wish you all the very best for the upcoming all international tournaments. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sailor Cole Brower has become the first American woman to race solo, non-stop and unassisted around the world. Brower finished the Global Solo Challenge on Wednesday after 130 days at sea. She set off from A Coruña in Spain on October 29th before circumnavigate the global via the 3 Great Capes. and ending back in A. Corona. Broad injured her ribs during the race. Despite the injury, she was able to make the necessary repairs and continue sailing. And that's all for this edition of DD India Sports Buzz. But do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. You can connect with us on Facebook, X, formerly Twitter and Instagram. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. From all of us here in Delhi, thanks for watching DD India Sports Buzz.